Chosen one, have you ever felt completely drained, not just physically, but in your soul, and couldn't explain why? What if I told you that while you're sleeping, scrolling, or even praying, an invisible force is draining your most sacred energy? And worse, you're letting it happen, not by choice but by ignorance. Yes, I said it. There's a spiritual war happening right now, and you are the battleground. Your sexual energy, your divine life force, the core of your creation power, is under attack. You've been told that pleasure is harmless, that desire is natural, that lust is just part of being human. But here's the hidden truth they'll never teach you in school, church, or on social media. When misused, your sexuality becomes the easiest portal for darkness to enter your life. You see, not all sins are visible. Not all chains are made of iron. Some are invisible, and they wrap around your soul in silence, draining you, weakening your purpose, pulling you further from the presence of God. And it's happening to millions. Right now, men waking up confused, anxious, addicted, empty. Women feeling disconnected, used, or spiritually blind. Relationships falling apart, purpose being lost, energy being stolen, and no one is talking about why. But you're here, and that means something. You didn't click this video by accident. You were led here because there's a voice inside you that knows you were born for more than lust, more than emotional numbness, more than spiritual weakness. Deep down, you feel it. Your power has been leaking, and now is the time to reclaim it. So let me ask you, chosen one, what if there are 8 specific sexual sins that are quietly opening spiritual doors in your life? Doors that invite confusion, darkness, depression, anxiety, and disconnection from your true self, your divine self? What if every time you ignore the whispers of your higher self, every time you indulge in what feels normal, you're giving permission for your light to dim? I know, this may feel heavy. It might even sound extreme. But isn't your soul worth confronting the truth? If you feel a chill running through you right now, if your heart is racing and you know I'm speaking directly to your situation, that's not a coincidence. That's a wake-up call. Today, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to awaken you. Because you have no idea how powerful you really are when you're clean, when you're aligned, when you're walking in purpose, not in cycles. This is your divine interruption. This is the moment where you finally realize you've been chosen, and now it's time to fight like it. Before we go deeper, I need you to do 2 things. First, subscribe and turn on notifications right now. This channel is not just a channel, it's a sanctuary for the awakened. And what we're building here is something no algorithm can silence. Second, type 111 in the comments below if you're ready to take back your divine energy and walk in real power. You're not alone. We are millions rising, one soul at a time. And now that you're here, let me show you what they never wanted you to know. If you're here, it's because something inside you knows you were called for more. This video isn't for the average viewer. It's for the awakened, for the ones who are tired of being spiritually numb, for those who are ready to rise. So don't wait. Hit that subscribe button right now, because here we choose power, we choose purity, we choose transformation, and we walk this path together. There was a young man named Michael, born into a broken home, raised by a praying grandmother. He always felt different, like something ancient lived inside him. Teachers said he had potential. His eyes carried depth beyond his years. People felt drawn to him. Some loved him, others feared him. He didn't know it yet, but Michael was a chosen one. He was called to lead, to ignite light in the darkest places. But no calling comes without resistance. In his late teens, Michael met her. Beautiful, seductive, magnetic. She wasn't evil. She was simply disconnected from her soul, and that disconnection carried weight. Michael, curious and lonely, gave in. What started as desire turned into addiction. And when he crossed that first line, the first sexual sin, something shifted. He felt it immediately, not in his body, but in his spirit. He woke up the next day feeling hollow, not broken, just less clear, less powerful, less connected. He couldn't explain it, but what had felt like intimacy the night before felt like energy theft by morning. That's when the first energy drain began. You see, sleeping with someone whose soul is not aligned with yours, even if you feel pleasure in the moment, creates a spiritual imbalance. It's not just about the body, it's about soul access. Sexual energy is creative energy. It's your spiritual gasoline. When given to the wrong person, it's like pouring light into a black hole. No return, just emptiness. Michael thought it was just a phase, but something kept pulling him back. He started losing motivation. His vision blurred. His dreams, once vivid and divine, faded. Prayer felt dull. His light dimmed, not because he was a sinner, but because he was leaking power through invisible holes. That's what no one tells you. Not all darkness is loud. Some comes in whispers, in small compromises. You give a little piece of your divine essence away, and it never comes back the same. This is the first sexual sin, giving your body to someone who isn't connected to your soul. It doesn't just break your heart, it fragments your divine calling. And every time you do it, you trade light for void. Chosen one, if this is hitting your soul right now, I need you to understand something. This isn't about shame. This is about awareness. You're not broken. You're awakening. And the moment you wake up is the moment everything begins to shift. If you've ever felt this pain, that subtle disconnection, that spiritual fog after intimacy, then you know what I'm talking about. It's not just regret. It's the loss of spiritual power that follows. And the only way to stop the drain is to take back your purity with intention. So let's be honest. Have you ever been there? Have you ever ignored that whisper in your spirit telling you, this isn't right? Have you ever felt your energy drop after a night that was supposed to feel good? If the answer is yes, I want you to take a deep breath right now and type 111 in the comments, because this moment, right here, could be the start of your return. Michael thought he was alone. He thought the weight he carried was unique, that the spiritual fog, the inner emptiness, the disconnect from purpose was something broken inside of him. But as he started to look closer, he began to notice something disturbing. It wasn't just him, his friends, his classmates, his co-workers, even the people who went to church every Sunday. They were all quietly falling into the same spiritual trap, smiling on the outside, drained on the inside. Gifted souls, once full of light, now walking as if something sacred had been stolen. And it had. The second sexual sin took its toll deeper than he imagined. Pornography. What started as curiosity at 13 became addiction by 18. Michael had convinced himself it was harmless. Everyone does it, he thought. But every night he gave in, he felt a piece of his identity slip away. What no one told him was that sexual addiction hijacks your divine mind, rewires your dopamine, your spirit, your will to lead, and worst of all, it creates soul ties to illusions. Pixelated people, false intimacy, emptiness wrapped in stimulation. Then came the third sin, using sex to numb pain. After heartbreak, after rejection, after failure, Michael found comfort in temporary pleasure. But the relief never lasted. It always came with a price. The more he sought pleasure to escape pain, the more spiritually disconnected he became. And every time he felt better, he was actually getting worse. He was digging deeper into the pit of spiritual warfare, giving his body to people who didn't know his name in the spirit. Then came the fourth, seeking sex for validation. He wanted to feel wanted, needed, powerful, seen. But no matter how many bodies he laid with, his spirit felt smaller, not bigger. He was feeding his flesh while starving his soul. Each of these sins, subtle, silent, socially accepted, were actually well-designed traps. Armageddon-level traps for chosen ones. Because when you're called to greatness, the attack isn't just physical, it's spiritual. Your vibration is targeted, your divine purpose is hunted. These sins don't just bring shame, they steal your memory of who you are. They distort your frequency. They create generational patterns you didn't ask for, chains passed from father to son, mother to daughter. And if you don't break them, they multiply. Michael wasn't weak. He was under attack. And like millions of other chosen ones, he didn't even know he was on a battlefield. That's how it works. The enemy doesn't come with horns. He comes with pleasure, with escape, with normalcy. But deep inside, your soul knows the difference. If you've ever felt like you're repeating patterns your parents lived through, if you've ever looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the version of you who's settling for less, if you've ever used sex to feel something, anything, instead of facing what's really inside, then pause, breathe. You are not alone in this. You are not dirty. You are not broken. You are under spiritual warfare. And today we expose the trap. If any of these shadows have followed you, if you feel their fingerprints on your story, then type 11 on 11 in the comments. This is your signal that you see it now, that you're not going to keep living like this. Michael had reached the edge, numb, lost, almost unrecognizable. But it was in that place, the pit where many give up, that something unexpected happened. Not a voice, not a miracle, a silence. A deep sacred silence that forced him to feel what he had been running from, his own soul. That moment cracked something open. He discovered something most people spend their whole lives avoiding. And what he found wasn't in a church, a book, or a motivational reel. It was in the stillness, in the space where the noise of addiction couldn't follow. Michael had discovered the beginning of a spiritual restoration. At first, it felt impossible, like trying to put shattered glass back together with bare hands. But Michael knew, to become who he was born to be, he'd have to break the soul ties that kept him tied to darkness. This is where most fail, because soul ties aren't just emotional. They're spiritual contracts, invisible ropes that pull you back into cycles you thought you escaped. Michael realized he couldn't just stop the behavior. He had to change his identity, and that meant building a map. A daily, intentional routine that realigned him with God and cut off everything that fed the enemy. Every morning, before the sun rose, he would wake up, hit his knees, and pray out loud, not to impress heaven, but to remind his spirit who it belonged to. He would speak his name, his purpose, his power. He began fasting, not for weight loss, but for energy cleansing. He deleted numbers, accounts, playlists, anything that reopened the door. He began to train his body again, not for aesthetics, but for discipline. Because discipline is the bridge between the old you and the chosen one within you. He wrote affirmations and stuck them to his mirror. I am not my past. My energy belongs to God. I am aligned with divine purpose. I walk in power, not in patterns. I am the breakthrough for my bloodline. These words weren't just affirmations. They were weapons of alignment, declarations that reset his frequency and built spiritual armor around his heart. And as days turned to weeks, Michael began to feel something he hadn't felt in years. Clarity. His thoughts were sharp. His sleep was deep. His dreams returned. He began to feel the pull of his divine alignment again. This wasn't easy. The temptation still came. But now he had tools. He recognized the cycle before it swallowed him. He had developed what I call field tactics for spiritual warfare, ways to retain power instead of leaking it. He created pattern interrupts. Every time a trigger hit, lust, loneliness, stress, he paused, changed his physical state, and redirected his mind with breathwork or scripture. When visuals tried to draw him back in, he changed the scene. Literally. Cold water, movement, music that elevates, not seduces. This is how you hack retention, not just in videos, but in life. He wasn't perfect, but he was becoming powerful. If you're still watching this, it's because you know the war is real. And now you know there's a map, not an escape, a path back to the real you. If this spoke to you, share this video right now. Post it, text it, DM it. Let someone else know they're not alone. And tag the person you'd go to spiritual war with, because this journey wasn't meant to be walked alone. Michael was on the verge of losing everything. His fire, his clarity, his soul. The world around him looked normal, but inside, he was drowning. Everything he once dreamed of, leadership, purpose, love, legacy, was slipping through his fingers like smoke. And then, he made a decision, one that would change everything. He chose to resist. He chose to break the cycle, to step into his chosen one destiny. He didn't wait for a sign. He became the sign. He silenced the voices telling him he was too far gone, too damaged, too addicted, and he rose. Now it's your turn. You've heard the truth. You've felt the pull. Now the question remains, will you reclaim your spiritual power or continue leaking it into darkness? Let's remind ourselves what we're really facing. These aren't just habits. They are spiritual traps. And they look like this. Sleeping with someone who doesn't align with your soul, feeding addictions to false intimacy through pornography, using sex as an escape from emotional wounds, pursuing validation through physical pleasure, ignoring your inner voice, repeating generational cycles, avoiding discipline, and surrendering your divine energy to people and patterns that never deserved it. Each one of these is a spiritual fracture. And every time you choose to break away from one, you gain back a piece of your light. Now, close your eyes for a second. Yes, right now. Take a deep breath and visualize this version of yourself, fully aligned, walking in confidence, speaking with authority, waking up with energy that feels clean, whole, focused, attracting people who match your vibration, living a life where peace isn't temporary, it's your baseline. See yourself fulfilling your mission, carrying out your calling, lighting up the path for others. This is what's waiting for you on the other side of resistance. You are not just another person watching a YouTube video. You are the exception, the chosen one. And if you've made it this far, it means you're not meant to stay the same. It means the universe, God, your higher self, whatever language you choose, has been guiding you toward this very moment of spiritual awakening. So I ask you, what lie have you been believing about yourself? Was it that you're not enough? That you're too broken? That it's too late? Whatever it is, I want you to break that agreement now. In the comments below, I want you to write out that lie, and then declare your freedom. You can write something like, I believed I was too far gone, but I declare freedom. I thought I'd always be addicted, but I reclaim my divine power. They said I'd never change, but I'm awakening now. Pick your version. Make it yours. But don't leave this video without making your declaration, because this, right here, isn't just a story. This is your turning point. And stay with me, because in the next video, I'm going to uncover something even more powerful. Why you keep seeing 1111, 111, and 1111, and what they really mean for your destiny. There's a reason those numbers are following you. It's not luck, it's divine frequency. And if you're ready to understand it, you need to be there when the next portal opens. So hit subscribe right now, turn on that notification bell, because this journey of transformation is just beginning. This isn't just another video. This is the portal to your new self. And on the other side of this screen is a life your past self never believed was possible. If this video hit you deep in your soul, don't leave without taking action. Like it right now, so the algorithm knows this message matters. Share it with someone you know is also a chosen one. Subscribe so we can awaken more souls together. Drop 111 in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your spiritual power today. And don't go just yet. Your journey doesn't end here. Click the next video appearing now on your screen and step deeper into your destiny. You've been chosen. Now live like it.